Crazy name, crazy guys. That's Nemo on Relapse Records. Your perfume is making me sick. Good evening. Tonight we've got a session for you from the Aphrodisiacs and any number of good records, and it is my duty, of course, as always, my pleasure, you could say, to warn you that it is possible that in the course of the next couple of hours you may be introduced to some bad language or concepts with which you're uncomfortable. If you believe that this is a possibility and that you're likely to be offended, now is the time to switch off. Some fanfares. Delvets, of course they all sound the same, actually, obviously. That was a small joke, very small joke. On Sunday's records from the LP Lost Legends of Surf Guitar Point Panic, Ram Charger was the title of the track. Don't forget you can text us 81199 or email john.peel@bbc.co.uk. Always very pleased to hear from you. And the chat room is open. I can't go through all of that stuff again. You must know by now how to find it. And also we've got some exciting competitions in the chat room and exciting competition outside the chat room. And just loads of information and good music between now and 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm beginning to sound like a proper DJ. Right, tonight, the Aphrodisiacs in session, the sound of quite young Motherwell. This is Terrorhawk. A record coming out sometime this month or next month on Subtext Records. Ghost is the title of it. And how's this a competition? Oh, I see. Okay, fair enough. This is a competition which occurs only in the chat room. Do you want to shout out across the room what it is they have to do to find the chat room in case they don't know?
Go to the website.
Yeah.
Click on chat.
Okay, thank you. Go to the website, click on chat. It's as easy as that. And on Saturday, the 9th of October, which is this Saturday, at the Peter Moon Club, the Hackney Empire in London, there's something called Vapour, involving Clinic, favourites of this programme for many years, Mice Parade, Jamie Little, Tura Kukurut, home video, Layla, and visuals by Flatty and Warp DJs. This is from 8 till 3. And we've got 4 pairs of tickets to give away in the chat room only, and for a chance to win you have to log on to, as Louise has pointed out in a rather abbreviated form, www.bbc.co.uk/Radio 1, click on chat, and for those of you who are not in the chat room and can't be bothered to go there or don't have the means of doing it, we've got some records to give away later on for which you don't require chat rooms or anything of the sort. Right, this is We Start Fires, and since I played a track from their Caught Red-Handed LP last week or the week before, I've had a chance to listen to the rest of it. And this is, by some distance, I think, their best song. Rich in Indignation, I think it's fair to say.
I did cross-stitch, peeled potatoes. I sit quietly, doing some toll. Paint my face on, hide the real me. I'm a study in femininity. I'm a doll wife in a doll's house.
Very good stuff too. We Start Fires on Head Girl Records from the LP Caught Red-Handed, and that's called Doll's House. And after I put this programme together, I was listening to records at home, which is what I spend most of my time doing, and I'm very happy to do it, let me say. And came across an LP which contains an even angrier song than that. And if you listen closely to the lyrics, you'll see you'll understand what it is that I'm talking about. It's from an LP, a tribute to Wanda Jackson, and it's worth getting because there's a great picture of her in the notes, a picture of her and a very young Elvis. And if you're interested in that sort of thing, of course you may not be. The LP is called Hard-Headed Woman, a celebration of Wanda Jackson, and it actually has a new track on it by Laura Cantrell as well, which, amazingly, I'm not going to play you tonight because Amit is the great Laura Cantrell fan, and he's in foreign parts at the moment, but as soon as he comes back, I'll put that in the programme. But this one is my favourite track of the hour, I think, and it's called The Box It Came In, and I don't know who did the original, I will find out though. It's by Anna Furman and the Trigger Gospel from Chicago, Illinois. I suggest you listen closely to the lyrics.
My clothes are all ragged. My Goodwill coat's not the best. And I'm walking on cardboard in my last dollar dress. I looked in the closet for my wedding gown, but the box that it came in was all that I found. But he took everything with him that wasn't nailed down. I bet he's got a new sweetheart wearing my wedding gown. But someday I'll find him, then I'll have peace of mind, and the box he comes home in will be all set in line. He took everything with him that wasn't nailed down. I bet he's got a new sweetheart wearing my wedding gown. But someday I'll find him, then I'll have peace of mind, and the box he comes home in will be all set in line. He took everything with him that wasn't nailed down. I bet he's got a new sweetheart wearing my wedding gown. But someday I'll find him, then I'll have peace of mind, and the box he comes home in will be all set in line. Yes, the box he comes home in will be all set in line.
That's how a country song should be. Bitterness, spite, vengeance, all of them. That's from a compilation LP on Bloodshot Records called Hard-Headed Woman, a celebration of Wanda Jackson, and it's by Anna Furman and the Trigger Gospel from Chicago, Illinois. It's called The Box That Came In. What would Morris... That's a little something from the Czech Republic, this time from Reverb. It's on the playback record. Actually, playback in its original form is a mix, but they sent out to us DJs, privileged persons, of course, a kind of a special CD in which the tracks are, a sort of demixed, if such a thing as possible, and it's all from C41 Records of the Czech Republic, somewhere Prague, I guess, I don't know. Waveform is the title of that track, though, and here's one from the Flaming Stars, one from the new LP, Named and Shamed, written by Max Descharnay, whose mum once wrote me a really nice letter, and you'd be surprised how many people in bands have mums that, and sometimes dads, but more often mums, that write you a nice letter saying, thank you for taking an interest in what our boy does. Vinyl Japan Records, the LP is called Named and Shamed, and that's She's Gone. I'm sorry my announcement into that was a little incoherent, but I was trying to cover up the fact that I'm grievously disappointed because we've had no emails. john.peel@bbc.co.uk. Having said that, one just came in from Jamie in Kent, and the last time we heard from Jamie, he'd just turned 16. He's now turned 18. He seemed to have missed out 17 altogether. And he says, I haven't listened to the show for a while. Thanks for that, Jamie. Had a hectic few weeks. Hope I haven't missed anything something good or anything. You missed, well, obviously 2 weeks of top quality music. In the time since you've heard from me, he continues, I've turned 18, which means I can now drink alcohol, rent 18 films from the local video store, buy CDs with that parental guidance sticker on without fear, and watch movies with a bit of blue in them, not the awful boy band, you understand, and legally too. Please play something with a lot of swearing in it, so I don't have to block my ears anymore. Well, congratulations, Jamie. I don't think there is any swearing in this at all, actually, like kisses of thread. This is from an LP called Glimpse, with a line through it. Like Kisses of Thread, the artiste, it could be James, who runs the label, which is Nasty Candy Records, and is looking for a distributor, by the way, he points out in a letter accompanying the record, and that's called The Prickly Things, and I shall play you another track from that at some stage as well. Mick Ashman has been in touch by email. That's 2 emails we've had tonight. It's getting pretty exciting here, as you can imagine, at Radio 1. Recovering from birthday festivities, he says, if you get the chance, can you dedicate a record to my son Louis, now 11, and developing a serious appetite for rock music, very partial to, amongst others, Hendrix, the Pixies, Ramones, Who, and the Mighty Avengers. I thought I was so much in love with you. That's, what can I say? Hardly seems like 11 years ago that you dedicated the first Tinderstick session to him and his mum and dad. Well, that's good to know, Mick. And he also points out that the box it came from was originally by Norma Jean, and we discovered that as well. And I shall go out and look for the original version of it tomorrow in Oxford Street, in record shops, obviously. Pointless going anywhere else under the circumstances. These are the Aphrodisiacs, second tune from them tonight in session, one of those bands that we've kind of stuck with over the years. And this is The Tomorrow People. That's another track from our session guest tonight, the Aphrodisiacs. The Tomorrow People is the title of it, and some information about what the band are doing at the moment. Well, they are Stephen McFall, vocals and guitar and keyboards, Kevin Carlin, drums and bass, and John Cairns, guitar and bass, and they all hail from the Scottish town of Motherwell. Hail form, it says here, actually. Sometime in 2002, they realised they weren't playing music with any other bands. Well, that's true of me as well, actually, and they decided to do something about it with a Palm Top digital studio and Super Mario racing on in the background. Is this you being poetic, Mark, or is this what it actually said somewhere? Okay. Racing on in the background, they set out to record something with a dance beat and weird keyboard noises. The results were to become the title track from the new album, This Is a Campaign. Later that year, the track featured in the Festive 50, voted for by listeners to this programme. And, of course, there will be a Festive 50 this year, I suppose, said he with the usual show of reluctance, because it's always kind of, for me, disappointing. Anyway, but you can find out more about the Aphrodisiacs if you go to www.theaphrodisiacs.co.uk, which I recommend that you do. And the reason I almost missed the end of that was because I was trying to remember who it is. This bothers me all the time. There's an old rocker, and his name... he had a sound studio in which the soundtrack, a lot of rather sort of crap American TV programs of the 70s and 80s were recorded there, and it's something like Greg Gregson, but it's not that, or Dawn, no, I don't know, George Georgeson. It could be anyway, but it doesn't really matter. But the fact is that he had, as I may have mentioned this before, one of my apps, and I'd love to have a copy of it. This is why I mentioned it, because also there's a... Here we go. Another email. This one from Michael Day, Portland, Oregon, who will almost certainly know the answer to the question. He says, there's an old rockabilly character in town here called Rudy Grayson. I remember the name, and that I occasionally go to see. He's in his 70s and still performing. Originally from Texas, he toured with Elvis Presley for a couple of years and also dated Wanda Jackson, albeit after Elvis did. And he's still quite a performer and a charmer after all these years. So that's good to know, I must say. And, but this bloke, and I saw him play once in Camden Town, and he came over and he got some press material which had got a picture of him with Elvis. Now, the thing was that he's standing looking at the camera as you would look at a camera if you'd had your photograph taken with Elvis. Elvis is looking off to the side, talking to somebody else in the room and paying absolutely no attention at all to the subject of the photo. And it is just one of my absolute favourite photographs. But I thought I got a copy of it at home, but I can't find it anywhere. So I don't know who it's by, and I can't find the photograph. Why do I even mention it? A complete waste of your time and mine. DJ Distance. enjoy. And the second tune is from Jean Noel, and the track is called Et la Lia, which means too long, and it's on Stern's Stroke Earthworks Records, and it comes from an LP called, hold on a second, I've got to type the title onto my running order, Tulia Never Sleeps, Tulear, and it says on the back that it's nighttime in Tulia, almost certainly mispronounced, which, by the way, is in southwest Madagascar, and it says, when the burning day has cooled somewhat, and then it says Speaky Bands, T-S-A-P-I-K-Y, except I have a feeling that in Madagascar, and this is something that I learned from my former Radio 1 colleague Andy Kershaw, now on Radio 3, of course, that you don't pronounce the final Y in whatever language it is they speak in Madagascar. So rather than being speaky, it's actually speak. Anyway, I may be wrong about that too. But it says, bands play at wild open-air dances, best attended by stray Westerners only if with local minders and empty pockets, which is disappointing, but probably sensible. Over the top of full-screen female vocals, fearsome lead guitarists scatter dazzling, fractured lines, which seem to come straight off the local traditional instrument, the maravani. Crowds of dancing people and women. Are women not people? Anyway, this is in local rum-fueled trance. It's another world, it says. So I shall play you more tracks from it too. Before that, it was DJ Distance on Sting Records from an EP, Closer Than You Think, and that track was called Shivered. And now time for the Pigs Big 78. A bit of a classic tonight, I think.
He's in the infirmary now, Leslie Holmes and his smiling voice.
Sing a song of tragedy to make your blood freeze horribly. A friend of mine, whose name was Paul, once sang this song in the Albert Hall, and he's in the infirmary now. Oh, he's in the infirmary now. They threw him lots of flowers in pots, so he's in the infirmary now. Up on the 14th-story floor, a man walked through an open door. He knew he had 2 steps to take, but walked down the lift shaft by mistake. And he's in the infirmary now. Whoa, he's in the infirmary now. 1 step said he is enough for me, and he's in the infirmary now. Jack was a sailor staunch and true, who did what all good sailors do. He went ashore at the Dardanelles and tried to wrap the harem girl. And he's in the infirmary now. Whoa, he's in the infirmary now. So he's in port, his leaves cut short, and he's in the infirmary now. Under a spreading chestnut tree, the smith, a mighty man was he. A horse he'd shoot behind before, one kicked him right in the seat of war. And he's in the infirmary now. Whoa, he's in the infirmary now. They tried in vain to save his brain, but he's in the infirmary now. Was a motorist of great skill. 1 zip from him would cause a kill. With his girlfriend, you'll understand, he drove but only used 1 hand. And he's in the infirmary now. Whoa, he's in the infirmary now. His girls just missed the danger list, but he's in the infirmary now. The boy stood upon the burning deck. The captain swore he'd break his neck, because he lost his last half-crown, playing crown and anchor while the ship went down. And he's in the infirmary now. Oh, he's in the infirmary now. There's a fire, says you, when he's overdue, for he's in the infirmary now.
And that apparently, there's a reference to that song anyway, if not that performance, in the book, The Clockwork Orange, according to Louise, is a well-read...
1984.
1984. Not The Clockwork Orange, I was completely wrong about that. But a well-read woman has obviously read both books. I've read No, I was going to say I've read neither of them. I've read 1984. Anyway, that was Leslie Holmes and his smiling voice. And on Imperial Records, Pigs Pig 78, he's in the infirmary now. And a bit of a gem, I think. Time for our competition for listeners. The chat room rather, is closed, is it? Is it closed? Okay. So we've got a Rough Trade compilation CD. We've got 4 copies of it. It's brand new. It's called Indie Pop 1. The CD features tracks by Camera Obscura, Pop Will Eat Itself, The Wedding Present, and many more, traditionally. And you can win a copy by answering this easy question. And Primal Scream, Biss, and the Jesus and Mary Chain also feature on the LP. But which town connects these bands? Mark didn't want me to put in town. He just wanted me to say what connects these bands, but that would have been too difficult, I think. Because you could have said they've all got an I in their name, and you would have been technically correct. So, Primal Scream, Biss, and the Jesus and Mary Chain feature on the LP, but which town connects all of these bands? And you can answer john.peel@bbc.co.uk, phone 08700 100 100, or text 81199. 4 copies of the compilation to give away. Time to move on with the Container Drivers. This is called Run.
Number 2 thinking, got my heart.
Love those punk rock guitars. Those are the Caves from Swansea on Mainspring Records, 7-inch single, Wow Machine. And this is, actually, this is a 7-inch single, no, it's a CD. This is Pharaoh Roach. I'd love to have been called Pharaoh. What a great name. And if I had any more children, if I was capable of having more children, I think Pharaoh would be the name that I would go for. Boy or girl, Pharaoh. Pharaoh Roach featuring DJ Kinetic. This actually is the 7-inch single on Toothless Records, Pharaoh Roach, featuring DJ Kinetic. Digital Graffiti is the title of it. And the answer to the question was East Kilbride, as 4 or 5 people managed to get, and 4 of the 5 are winners of the compilation LPs, CDs. It's Gary Clark from Horsham, Derek Franklin, we don't know where from, but he sent us an email, David Jennings from London somewhere, and Brandon O'Neill in Northern Ireland. And all of these people will be getting CDs. Well, we'll be sending them out first thing in the morning. Actually, probably not. When are you going to send them out? First thing in November. Is actually Mark, who's from East Kilbride himself, amazingly, an extraordinary coincidence, is already writing out the envelopes so that these prizes can be sent off because we want you to love us. Right, the Aphrodisiacs in session. The hour is late, but please consider. Aphrodisiacs in session, and that one's called The Hour is Late, but please consider. And an email here from Paula saying, Aphrodisiacs session great. Are they playing live soon anywhere? They probably are, but we haven't got any information to that effect. But you can always check the website again. It's www.theaphrodisiacs.co.uk. And then she continues, Naomi, it says Paula at the top and Naomi at the bottom. How confusing. But it says, Please play something bluesy or surfy or loud or raucous to keep me going whilst working late on a report due for tomorrow. Keep up the good work. The Festive 50 must go on too. It's great. I know it's a pain in the neck for you and the team having to count it all, but it's great for us out here, so please, please, please don't abandon it. It's not really actually all that difficult to count all the votes up and stuff, but what is annoying for me, what I always find frustrating, is the fact that it's always kind of cute white kids playing guitars that fill all 50 places in it, and it didn't used to be like this in the early days of the Festive 50. You'd get reggae tunes getting in there, mainly Bob Marley and the Wailers, admittedly, but the occasional reggae tune, and early hip-hop things used to get in there as well. Grandmaster Flash, I remember, was in there, and so on. But anyway, that's up to you. It's your Festive 50, not mine, so if that's what you want, that's what you get. Right, let's move on. There's another email here. This is from Kaz, and okay, Kaz, I'll try and sort something out before the end of the programme to satisfy your requirements, your arcane requirements. Nick Edwards, from the culturally bizarre Milton Keynes, his words, not mine, was talking about Magoo, says he'd be grateful for anything from Magoo, love their session some time ago, we'll be hearing more from them soon, they're recording a session for us very soon indeed, and also there's an LP coming out hopefully before very much longer. And Joe in New Zealand says, would love to hear any English band for an expat in New Zealand, listening now and feeling homesick. Well, I'm not sure where the research come from, but it could very easily be from England. This is Love Me Tender, it's not Love Me Tender, this is a different one altogether.
Elbow drop to my weak torso. With one flick of the tongue, she cut me in half. Cattle prod, I'm directed everywhere I go. I'm a stick in the mud, afraid of the snake in the grass.
Futurebound and Codex. This is on Infrared Records. Get On Up is the title of it. It sounded like Linda Jones sampled at the beginning of it. Is that too much? That would be amazing if it was. And hello to Pete Lewis in Swansea. Irritable, can't sleep, been working too hard. Pete, I recognise those symptoms. Here's the last tune tonight from the Aphrodisiacs in session, and it's their cover version, and I've been looking forward to this all night. This is their reading of Do You Remember the First Time?
Your you know that we changed so much since then. Oh yeah, we've grown. Now I don't care what you're doing. Now I don't care if you screw him. Or just as long as you save a piece for me. Oh yeah.
That is excellent. I love it when people do cover versions and don't do kind of like slavish copies of them. The Aphrodisiacs, the last from them tonight in session. Do you remember the first time? Don't forget, tomorrow night we've got the Super Furry Animals live from Maida Vale. And then on Thursday, a repeat of that extraordinary session by The Fall. Got an amazing review for a live gig in The Independent the other day, which I was very pleased to see. This is Semi-Squared. That's excellent stuff. That's from Semi-Squared, from a demo, really. I don't think it's in the shops. Unknown title as well. I can't give you a title for it. But in 5 minutes' time, coming up after the news, it's The Rock Show with Therapy in Session tonight, amongst other things. And the last record that I have for you, rather a spooky track from an LP called The Human Tragedy. From Scotland, this is Snowblood. The track is Carly. Mess around and fall in love. That's Snowblood from the LP The Human Tragedy. Carly is the title of it. Thanks very much for listening to tonight's programme. Don't forget, tomorrow, Super Furry Animals at Maida Vale. Oh, 16 versus... Oh, no, that should have been the news jingle, but it isn't, and I apologise for that.